Greetings, dear listeners. My name is Serikbayev Syrym, and today our broadcast dedicated to Adam Smith. Adam Smith was a Scottish economist and philosopher who was a pioneer of political economy and a key figure during the Scottish Enlightenment. Also known as the father of economics or the father of capitalism, he wrote two classic works: The Theory of Moral Sentiments and An Inquiry into the Nature and Causes of the Wealth of Nations. The latter, often abbreviated as the Wealth of Nations, is considered his magnum opus and the first modern work of economics. In his work, Smith introduced his theory of absolute advantage. Smith studied social philosophy at the University of Glasgow and at Balliol College, Oxford, where he was one of the first students to benefit from scholarships set up by fellow Scot John Snell. After graduating, he delivered a successful series of public lectures at the University of Edinburgh, leading him to collaborate with David Hume during the Scottish Enlightenment. Smith obtained a professorship at Glasgow, teaching moral philosophy, and during this time wrote and published The Theory of Moral Sentiments. In his later life, he took a tutoring position that allowed him to travel through Europe, where he met other intellectual leaders of his day. Smith laid the foundation of classical free market economic theory. The Wealth of Nations was a precursor to the modern academic discipline of economics. In this and other works, he developed the concept of division of labor and expounded upon how rational self-interest and competition can lead to economic prosperity. Smith was controversial in his own day, and his general approach and writing style were often satirized by writers such as Horace Walpole. The philosophy of free markets. The philosophy of free markets emphasizes minimizing the role of government intervention and taxation in the free markets. Also, Smith advocated for limited government. He did see the government as responsible for the education and defense sectors of a country. From Smith comes the idea of the invisible hand that guides the forces of supply and demand in an economy. According to this theory, by looking out for themselves, every person inadvertently helps create the best outcome for all. A hypothetical butcher, brewer, and baker in this economy hope to make money by selling products that people want to buy. If they are effective in meeting the needs of their customers, they will enjoy financial rewards. While they are engaging in enterprise to earn money, they also provide products that people want. Smith argued that this kind of system creates wealth for the butcher, brewer, and baker, and creates wealth for the entire nation. Invisible hand theory. According to Smith's beliefs and theory, a wealthy nation is the one that populated with citizens working productively to better themselves and address their financial needs. In this kind of economy, according to Smith, a man would invest his wealth in the enterprise most likely to help him earn the highest return for a given risk level. The invisible hand theory is often presented in terms of a natural phenomenon that guides free markets and capitalism in the direction of efficiency through supply and demand and competition for scarce resources, rather than as something that results in the well-being of individuals. For Smith, an institutional framework is necessary for steer humans towards productive pursuits that are beneficial to society. This framework consists of institutions like a justice system designed to protect and promote free and fair competition. However, there must be competition underlying this framework, and competition is a desire that comes with us from the womb and never leaves us until we go into the grave. Gross domestic product. The ideas in the Wealth of Nations provided the genesis for the concept of gross domestic product and transformed the importing and exporting business. Before the publication of the Wealth of Nations, countries declared their wealth based on the value of the gold and silver deposits. However, Smith was highly critical of mercantilism. He argued that countries should be evaluated based on their levels of production and commerce. This concept was the basis for creating the GDP metric for measuring a nation's prosperity. When the Wealth of Nations was published, many countries were hesitant to trade with other countries. Smith argued that a free exchange should be created because both countries are better off from the exchange. As a result of this shift in attitudes towards trading, there was an increase in imports and exports. Smith also argued for legislation that would make trading as easy as possible. And now our broadcast is over. Please subscribe to this channel. That was your host, Serikbayev Syrym. Good night.